The EBS that you have learned during EC2, elastic block storage की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं. I'm talking about elastic beanstalk. Elastic beanstalk, right? So elastic beanstalk gives you the facility to do the things through the GUI. Do the things through GUI, and you can do the things there only, right? So if I go here and write elastic beanstalk, right, application elastic beanstalk. So whatever is there, I will delete it. Should not get confused. Gone, right? So I need someone who can read this. काम करते हैं, थोड़ा सा थ्योरी पढ़ लेते हैं पहले. Right? So elastic beanstalk. Elastic beanstalk basically gives you the templatization of the things, right? It means that you can create a template and you can use it. Not the EC2 only template, rather it's much higher than that. And you create a, let's say, development template. Inside that you put everything whatever you want. Example, you want to launch the instance, you can deploy the application, you can create the AMIs, you can do the auto scaling, and finally it is ready to access your application. Okay, how? Let's check. So it is easy, it is automatically, it is free, it is reliable, right? And you can, here also we call template and we call stack. The collection of resources is called stack, and the parameter and other dependency along with the stack is called template. That's what we have learned also. So it is a fully passed tool that is for developers. Example, let's say developers are coming to you every 1 hour and say that, can you deploy my application into the EC2, right? So you will say that, yeah, what are you doing? You are asking me to deploy the things. Do one thing, you do it yourself. And then when you said that, that developer said that I do not have understanding of AWS much. What should I do? Then you say that I give you the facility, using that you do not need to understand AWS at all. You just deploy your application, and rest of the things you just, even you need to do some tweaking, it's a GUI. No need to be technical on that. So this tool is created for their perspective, for their purpose, so that they can, developer can do the work themselves and you can concentrate on your primary task, right? So it's a more of developer tool, and it supports many of the languages: Java, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, and so on, right? You can create your application and you can deploy it, or rather you can integrate with the Eclipse or Visual Studio also, right? And you can upload your application and just run it. So as and when you run it, it is managed based on the component you selected over there, right? And it gives you the URL also, right? So whatever the resources you are going to use it there in EBS, basically it will be the part of the group whatever you are selected, and it's run one engine run in behind who manages all the things together, right? So it gives you the URL also. So here developer can retain full control. Developer can manage the full control. They can launch the EC2. They can easily manage the application. They can use the custom AMI, right? They can use the database also. They can run the EC2 and side by side their application, or they can easily move out their application from the EBS also, Elastic Beanstalk also. They put it into the EBS and they want to remove it. That option is also there. So simple to use, easy to use, automatically scalable, flexible, reliable, free, and complete control. So you deploy the provisioning of the environment. You can roll back or you can deploy or roll back. You can the monitoring is by default over there. You can store the log into the S3 also. and you can easily troubleshoot, and you can get the logs also, right? And you can restart the application also. It is more for developers, right? So here you can see elastic load balancer, all this difficult diagram. I'll not go with the difficult diagram, rather I will show you. It is not, yeah, it is also for DevOps, you can say that, but it is more for developers, not for you. I'll not say DevOps, rather cloud formation is more for the DevOps. It comes under DevOps, although whenever you go for the DevOps certification of AWS, these two tools comes under that only. Okay, so if I go here, and you can read this ElasticBeanStack in easy to use service for the deploying and scalable web application. You can use multiple tools over there, right? It's written there. Pricing varies, so I'll not recommend you to go with this one. Benefit is feature, at least read it sometime. Okay, and you can click on create application. And then when you click on the create application, in last year September it had changed something, right? Enhanced health enabled option. Okay, so here you give the name of application, let's say test application, and here define the tag is optional. So here also we can get the simple templates and all. So there are multiple languages that it supports. So let's say I go with Docker, I go with the PHP. Let's say I go with the PHP or Python or Ruby or Tomcat. Let's say I go with the Tomcat. Which version of Tomcat? Tomcat 8.5 platform. Let's say 4.17. That is delivered. Application code, right? Sample application code that is already given by AWS. Or if you have an application code for Tomcat, you can upload it here. As I said, that developers can upload from their local desktop, or they can upload through S3, so they can upload that. If not, I go with the sample application, and if I click on this create application, it will right away click create. It will not ask a single question, and it will create everything. There is no as such parameter option or anything option that we have seen it in the cloud formation. It will right away create it. Okay, so you will not understand what is inside that, and you will be in trouble, because it may create the multiple things that you will not get to know now. So be careful. So what should you do? You can create on configure more options. Click on this create configure more options, and here you can see the boxes that I explained. In the same fashion the things are written. So let's say your application that you want to upload or add it, or any parameter, let's say the sample application of Tomcat that we selected, here you can define some parameters also, right? So you can define some parameters, whatever you want. So let's say you want container Apache, or you want X-ray application of AWS, you want to store your log into the S3, you can enable S3 log. You can do the streaming into the CloudWatch. We have not learned the CloudWatch, we'll learn. Yes, Kiran, it is recorded. Do not worry about all this, don't worry. You told me earlier, so I started only. So you want to retain the logs? Yeah, you can enable the logs, and the life after 7 days it will be deleted. Okay, your application related parameter you can mention here. Okay, so let's say I want there are different types of option you can select over here for the EC2 instances and related components. So here I can mention it that I can take a free tier eligible, or I can take the spot instance, or I can take the hybridity using the load balancer or auto scaling, or I can take the spot instances along with the on demand, or I can do the custom configuration. I select the custom configuration, and here in the custom application, no problem. So custom application, custom instances, I click on edit, and here I go up. So you can see that here I go with the let's say general purpose storage. How much size I want? Let's say I want 10 GB of storage, same EC2 type, right? I want your environment support platform, both that I don't want disable, or I security group, let's say I want security group default. That's all. So save. So that is been saved. So I want that. So capacity means instance type. I click onto that and I click load. I want load balancer or I want single instance. Choices with me. Let's say I want single instance. I do not want load balancer or auto scaling. So one instance, okay, and I want spot instance or normal on demand. I want on demand, and I want T2 micro AMI. You can change the AMI if you know, if you want to put your custom AMI or AWS delivered anyone. You need to just go and copy the ID and paste it here. Save. So I selected instance, I selected storage or volume, and I select the parameter. Now I want load balancer. No, it will not allow because here I have disabled it, right? So no load balancer configuration. Rolling patch update, again it is easy for developers. They want to deploy the rolling patch updates and all. Security, I can select the security here. So role or key pair, let's say key pair I select here, right? That's all. I want right, monitoring CloudWatch. I can enable CloudWatch. I can enable SNS. I can enable VPC. Let's say VPC, default VPC is coming, and I select public IP. I select these ability zones, rather all of them. So same, you can see that you can see that I am selecting database. If I need a database, I can select the database. If I am taking RDS, some of you may not have done the RDS also. Don't worry, you will learn soon. So you can take RDS. If you know, if you want to install database, if you want to tagging, just simple create. And then when you click on create, if I click on this create, now started launching. See, it has not asked any single thing. And the another thing is that it is not predefined and sequential. And if anything goes wrong, it is not going to revert it back like CloudFormation. It is not going to revert it back. Whatever the error, it will show the error. Rest of the components are created, right? And it is not predefined and orderly format. So whatever will come, it will execute. So it is environment starting. If we look into that, it might have created EC2 instances with the defined configuration. Elastic IP also created. Remember that I have given the public IP, Elastic IP. That will come. We have to wait. See, create environment is starting. It's pending, right? We have to wait. Test environment. It's running now, right? I go here and we have to wait. This will take a few seconds, few minutes. Okay, I can refresh this also if I am losing my patience. Still same, environment is starting, so we have to wait. At the end it will give you the URL also, right? So we have to wait for that. So I have created the application and I've saved the version also. And guys, if I want to launch it again, just I need to click it again and then it will create everything back. So once you create it down. Okay, it is starting. Right, I can take the public IP or DNS also, but I am waiting for the URL given by this guy. Yeah, it is still starting. It's created the security group and it is using the ElasticBeanStack to create as Amazon S3 bucket for the environment. It's created the bucket also because we have selected the S3 bucket for the storage, right? Abhijit, it's a long way to go. You will get it. Not only on CloudFormation and ElasticBeanStack, you will get it for many. For all the component you have get it. Okay, so you will get all the questions and all. Don't worry, it is a part that I promised. So I'll give you all the question answers and everything. So you can see that we have selected the Tomcat, right, and it is health is okay. It is saying that everything is fine. If I click on refresh, the things are there. It is created elastic IP also. It is created S3 also, and this is the URL. Can you see the URL? If I click into that, it will open an application. See, the Tomcat is in front of you. It is deployed. Congratulations, you have deployed your Amazon EBS one, and it is giving the URL, right? So this is the page that has been created, right? And it will redirect to some other side now, AWS side now. It is redirecting to AWS side. So this page is created. Server is created, EC2 instance is created, S3 bucket is created, and elastic IP is created, right? But if I delete it here now, if I delete now, right, then it will go away. If I say terminate environment, and it will ask me that give the name of the terminate environment, right? So enter the name of the environment. I want test environment. I don't want. So my environment is going to delete. So started deleting now, right? So within one click, everything is created. Let's go back to the theory and now understand this diagram. In this diagram, all these things we can create through elastic beanstalk. So we created the EC2. Their auto scaling option was there. Load balancer was there. Right, load balancer, auto scaling, EC2, everything is created through elastic beanstalk manager. It is created, and the logs can be stored into the S3, right? And the logs are going to the different S3, right? That's what we have seen that also. You can select the log. So this diagram is easy now to understand. This is the same diagram but in a different way. So again, EC2 instances have been created, Apache or Tomcat application installed with your custom EMI that you want to select. Load balancer is also created, and your logs and other things are going into the S3 bucket, right? Created by the Elastic Beanstalk manager. So you can integrate this Elastic Beanstalk along with your development tools like Visual Studio, Eclipse, right? Or you can launch through command line, or you can launch through console or software development or API. So there are multiple ways that you can execute the Elastic Beanstalk. That is all. But whenever you launch the elastic beanstalk, make sure that you should be very careful. I deleted, so it's deleted also. Still deleting, right? So that is it's very simple, nothing as such. So that environment is deleted, but your template is not deleted. Your template is still with you. If you want to create it again, create environment right away. It will create all the resources right away, right? So this template is not going to charge you even if you keep it. Don't worry, right? If you want to delete it, that this also go ahead, delete it. Okay, now it's back. No, you cannot. There is no option that I have ever seen that you can. Where will you export from one AWS account to another? No, it's not like that. Because there is no scripting over it, right? स्क्रिप्टिंग से बचने के लिए ही तो आए थे हम यहाँ पे. वापस AWS नहीं देता वो ऑप्शन. एटलीस्ट मुझे नहीं पता कि वो कहीं देता है. ओके, तो संतोष का आंसर इज नो. ओके.